Hey guys, it's Heather the Crochet Witch. How are you guys doing today? Welcome to Vlogtober day 20, which I'm recording this as early as possible. So hopefully very soon I will be in bed. I have to do a few finishing checks and get the last of that ginormous Mary Poppins type tote bag packed and check everything off my list that I've mentioned or that I talked about yesterday, and get ready, and hopefully I will be on my way to see Fozzie by the time a lot of you guys are watching this. I am excited. I'm trying not to like work myself up so I go to sleep, but I am already excited. So it's like a failing attempt. Like I had been sleepy when I was out there working on my squares. I was like, okay, I'll just get this video done. And then I started thinking about everything all over again, and it's like Christmas Eve for me. Yeah, so if you're new in town, if you haven't been here, first of all, welcome. Hi, hello. Yeah, Fozzie is, if you've never heard of Fozzie, they're, I don't even want to say up and coming, but I mean, they're not AC/DC or, Bon Jovi or Aerosmith or anything like that. They've been around 25 years, though, I will say. This is their 25-year tour, from when they, like, very first itty-bitty Chris Jericho and very first itty-bitty Rich Ward, first got together and said, hey, let's make some music, I guess. But anyway, they're a group of guys that are, a couple of them, all of them are my friends. It's just some newer than others, because a few of the guys left, some newer guys came in and stuff. So some of them are closer, I'm closer friends with some of them, I should say, but all of them are really great guys. Point being, they're my friends, and I'm going to go see them tomorrow, and I'm uber excited because it feels like it's been forever. It's probably not been forever. I'm being dramatic. But, yeah, I'm going to go see them, and I'm really excited. David's supposed to go, but I think he finally did relent. It isn't that I don't want him to go. I do want him to go. I actually really want him to go because we almost always have a really fun time. I would say always, but I mean, nothing's ever perfect. Like every once in a while, something happens, right? But we almost always have a really good time field tripping. Occasionally, one of us is crabby. I'm sure one of the times, in question, both, one time has probably been me, one time has probably been him, but for the most part, we usually have a really good time together. So I really did want him to go, and it's the only time we get to see this tour, which is the guys' 25th anniversary tour. It sounds like so long, but I mean, I've been with the guys for 15 years, and I mean 25 years, we're talking before they ever really toured. I'm sure I think they're counting literally from day one. So we're not talking a 25-year from an album or something, we're talking from day one. But yeah, I mean, we would get home, even if we made it home as soon as possible, he would only have 2 hours to sleep and then have to go back to work. So I think he finally really put some thought into it, because he said tonight, we're sitting there, we were playing Warcraft, we went out to eat, which at the end, I'm going to put it at the end, if I remember to do that. It might be at the beginning because I forgot, but otherwise it'll be at the end, and there will be no sound. I'm going to have to wipe the sound off it, because there was music, there was licensed music, I'm sure there's copyright license on it. It was I'll tell you about the Arby's in a second, but we went to eat at Arby's anyway, and I remembered to film in there because they had awesome Halloween decorations. I didn't even get to film all of it because it was pretty I was gonna say unpacked. There was not a lot of people there. Unpacked. Pretty sparse. There was not a lot of people. I thought I had the place to ourselves at first. I thought we did, but it was somebody coming in, not leaving. I thought they were saying goodbyes when they were talking to the guy behind the counter. They were saying hellos. So to my disappointment, we did not have the place to ourselves, so that because I was going to stand just in the middle of the restaurant where there was like this wall so that the staff couldn't see me, because I didn't want them to yell at me for filming in the restaurant in case there was like a no filming clause or whatever, or policy. And I was just going to do like a 360. Yeah. And film around the whole restaurant. But I got part of it, and then guy was sitting, so I had to go around him to the outside, and I didn't fully get, because there was like, I don't know if I got the lamps, because they had like hanging lamps, and each one of those was covered in like spooky cloth or cobwebs, depending on the lamp. It was really cool. Anyway, so we had went out to eat at Arby's, and then when we got back, we were playing some Warcraft, and like right when we started, he said, he goes, I don't know how I'm going to survive the next day at work. And I had been telling him, like, it's okay. Like, I'm not going to be upset. I'm not upset with you. I'm not even upset at the situation, because it is what it is. Like, I don't want him to feel bad, because he's the type of guy who would feel bad or like he let me down. And I don't want him to feel like that, because that's not the case. He had nothing, it's out of his control. He had nothing to do with it, He didn't sit there and go, what can I do to ruin Heather's time? It's this job, and it's these people, and I don't like the way they're treating him at all. We've been over this before. I know you guys have let me vent to you about it, but I don't like the way they're treating him at all. And it's those people that are really upsetting me. We are both having like not great job issues right now. Which is funny, because like he was like, I haven't loved my job over the past, but like lately I have really not, like you all know. You all know. But like he used to be very happy with it, and I was happy for him, because he'd have daily, his daily, everyone has daily complaints is what I'm trying to say. Little things or whatever, like, but maybe not everyone, but I'm saying like your average Joe, has this or that, and I'm sure he had this or that, but I know that this is like he's regretful, and it makes me sad that he's regretful for that, because he was really thinking that he was doing something, and I was too, thinking that he was doing something really great, and it should have been really great. It's these people, and it's an unfortunate thing. So, but the point of that was, he finally admitted, like, he's like, I don't know how I'm going to survive, and I said, don't feel bad. I don't know how you would either. Like, 2 hours of sleep. Like, I do stupid stuff like that, but I work 5 minutes away from where I live. You drive an hour away to drive an hour back. Don't do that. You drive on the highway, in fact, an hour away. And I literally could walk to work if I wasn't lazy. I mean, it would take more than 5 minutes then, but don't do that. So, I think as long as he's willing and stuff still, which he's at work right now, but as long as he's willing to, Nate's going to go with me tomorrow. So, which, sucks. It sucks for David, but, there'll be other Fozzy concerts, I told him, don't worry about that. That part, and he's not letting me down, and I'm glad it's my band that he doesn't get to go see, and that it's more he's worried about letting me down, because if it was like one of his concerts with his favorite bands, I would be so upset right now for him. So anyway, didn't I start out saying I wasn't going to get excited or worked up, or here I go. So anyway, I think I've ironed out my driving companion is what I was getting at. But yeah, and Courtney and I were going to try to go live, but then like we were talking about, you know, I still had to get my squares done, and I was telling her I had to get my video done for tonight. And then I guess while I was waiting for Nate to get off just to iron out the last of everything tonight, because, you know, last minute, that's the way we all do everything around here. I was going to get a head start on the squares, I guess, and as I finish packing and stuff, at least pick out the yarn or something, because if Nate will drive tomorrow, I could get them done tomorrow, or I could at least do it, because I arrive very early for concerts, and I'm sure I could get it done while I was like waiting around or something tomorrow, because, you know, that'll be me crocheting in line for a concert. So even if I drove, it would be fine. I can get that little bit done, and yeah, otherwise I'm definitely gonna try to get to bed. So nothing terribly exciting, so so I say we get on with the squares today. The squares today did really amuse me in the fanfic Stranger Things blanket that I'm doing. I had one of my favorite side characters, Keith, that we talked about yesterday, and the picture I had found that I showed you, which I'll put up again, is when we first saw Keith at the Palace Arcades. He's wearing his Palace Arcades, that kind of counts, I suppose, as a uniform shirt there, and like, yes, that has orange in it, in a blue shirt and everything, but what always struck me was he's always eating his Cheeto Puffs, right? He's always eating them. He's always got Cheeto Puff fingers. Maybe not at family video, but when you first meet Keith, Cheeto Puffs. He's even got like a little bit of Cheeto Puff like residue. It's really light, but he's got it. Cheeto Puff hands. He's got it. So the squares that I did, I used that faded blue almost for his shirt. And this could be the Palace Arcade logo, but it's not. This is Cheeto Puff orange. So I have Cheeto Puffs for the Cheeto dust on Keith there. Forever immortalized in my blanket. So yep, that is my Keith square. It's his t-shirt with Cheeto Puffs. And then I did not switch the colors around or anything. I just made a second one because honestly that just amused me to no end. I thought that was pretty funny. So there we go. Yeah, I really like that. Maybe I was more amused than you guys are, but yeah, I love the thought of that. It's just gonna be Keith and his Cheetos right there. And given my love for Keith anyway, that's gonna make me pretty happy seeing that. Keith. We're gonna put those squares to the side now. I have them all stacked. My stack's actually getting pretty high now. So let's just move on and pick a new character to work with for tomorrow for concert day. And then I will, like I said, hopefully I remember to insert. I thought I'd make it without the light going off. No Maverick to come inspect. He's upstairs sleeping with Daddy tonight. I thought I would make it to... Wow, my brain rebooted and I completely lost what I was saying to you guys. Where did that thought go? It like went out when the light turned out. Oh, I thought I would make it before the light turned off. That should have reminded me right there. But no, the light still turned off on me. So I talk, even when I don't mean to, I talk so much, I know. All right, right here. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Yes, I have been waiting for you to show up. Eddie Munson. Eddie Munson, right here. Eddie. There'll be another picture right here. But you already are very familiar because honestly, even though I love me some Hopper and Steve, I think my most owned shirts are Eddie. Like, I feel like they probably put a lot of Eddie shirts out, like just pumped them out. And a lot of the shirts that I found most recently have been Eddie, and a lot of shirts gifted to me were Eddie. One of my favorite shirts ever is a Dart shirt. I have worn that thing so much that I have to, like, I was going to say stop wearing it. I don't stop wearing it, but measure out wearing it in between other shirts just because it's starting to get so thin already. But other than Dart, I wear, like, I trade off between just a regular Stranger Things shirt and like a multitude of different Eddie shirts. And I have some that almost look the exact same. So I bet you guys have thought I've had like the same shirt on sometimes for like a month, but it's really just different Eddie shirts. But I love Eddie. Eddie is, like, when I talked about having this platonic love for Keith, because in my fanfics, he's like one of my character's best friends. Eddie is my character's very best friend. There is, in my fanfics, no platonic love deeper than the love between Heather and Eddie. Like, Eddie feels the same way. There's just this instant, like, connection between the two of them. They are the very deepest, bestest of friends. They're the type that would, like, have the slumber party in the middle of the night and share the secrets and do all the things, except, you know, they're both, you know, they're a boy and a girl, and they beat the odds of boys and girls can't, you know, just be best friends, because they absolutely are. There's nothing between them. Like, I'm sure a bunch of people in Hawkins in the fanfic would, like, think that there is, just because they're, like, joined at the hip all the time, but nothing. They just BFFs all the way. Like, Eddie is everything to her. I love Eddie. In fact, when I did my first, well, only at this point, Stranger Things doll, it was Eddie. I love Eddie so much. Even over, like, Billy or anybody else in the world, in any fanfic I ever do, I will always save Eddie. I've worked Eddie into seasons like 1 and 2 when I've rewritten it, just like what would he have done, what would he have been doing around Hawkins, because, you know, like, Eddie existed in that world. They just didn't think of writing him in until season 4. So, like, what would Eddie have really been doing? Obviously he would have been in school because he was, like, a long-term senior for, like, ever, but, like, what would Eddie have been doing, you know? So, like, you can find that out in one of my fanfics. You can find that out in a lot of fanfics out there. I think other people, I'm sure, have written that too, but yeah, I just absolutely adore Eddie. Anyway, yeah, so on that note, on the Eddie note, I am gonna let you guys go and get this video uploading, and really hope that everything works out situationally, ridingly for tomorrow. That's absolutely not a word, I'm aware. I made it up. It's a word now. If not, like, if for some reason it's like Nate said he's gonna go, but, like, if something happens at work tonight and it's absolutely too late of notice or something, David said he'll still go, but that man needs to sleep. So let's just hope everything works out. Because Nathan does not have to work the next day like the way David does. So it would be much, much better for everyone, I think, if David just got to sleep. So, at least for him, I mean, he's the one that matters. Not really for everyone, but it'd be better for him. Anyway, not getting back into that. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys letting me vent and express my concerns. And it's not that he wouldn't, but I think it would just make him feel bad. And I know he doesn't watch my videos, so he's not gonna know. But yeah, it would make him feel bad. And I'm not trying to make him feel bad and add that stress to everything. So I do appreciate you guys listening to me. But yeah, on that note, I'm gonna go. I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Happy Sunday, guys. Bye.